All right, everyone. Um, Thanks for coming. We played a really, really good game today. We played a really good team. And I know those coaches. I know the way that they coach. Their teams are usually pretty good. And as you could tell, they did have some kids out there today that they're are now or have played competitive. Um, And so I was really, really proud of the way that the boys played today and their ability to hang with that other team. And really, really, a lot of that came from the defense that we were playing. They were a team they were trying to push it the whole time. And so a lot of times that first half, we spent the first half with the ball on our side of the field most of the time. And that's something we talked about at halftime is, hey, we have to reverse the field. Within that first half, the ball was probably on our side 80 to 85% of the time. Um, and we want to keep the pressure on other teams. We want it closer to their goal, to where we are have a chance to score. Because obviously, the farther it is away from our goal, the better for us. But that being said, we have we played defense so well. And we got a transition goal in the first half. So we had a breakaway goal, we had a transition goal around some people to actually go into halftime 1-0. And I know the other team was not very excited about that. When we came out in the second half, we did try to put more pressure on them to have the ball on their side of the field where we had more chances to score, and I think we did. We put more pressure on them. This is the second week in a row that we have put more pressure in the second half on a team than we have the first half. They got a goal off of a really good shot from the corner kick. And then they had one where we did have some mental errors. We had some letdowns, not getting the ball out of our box quick enough, letting it sit there for them to score. We had some really, really good saves by our keepers today, and we had some great interruptions and steals by our defenders today. And then, we did something today that we haven't done in the past. Last week, we came down from 1-0 to end up tying it 1-1. But this week, or today, we were up 1-0. Then all of a sudden, we found ourselves down 2-1. And with about 5 or 6 minutes left, we were still down. We get a breakaway, we get a transition goal, we score off of that to tie it 2-2. And then what I told the boys afterwards, I said, the hardest thing is once you tie a game to make it stay tied. We changed our strategy. We had actually moved our defenders. Our defenders were coming up to help on offense. And all of a sudden, when we tie it, now we have to change strategy again. So our defenders are back so we don't concede what would have been the game-winning goal, but we still have to keep putting pressure on the other team. And the game ended with the ball on their side of the field, which was really, really impressive. We did a really, really good job with that. I think today they probably had four or five corners. We didn't have a corner today, I don't believe. But we did a really good job playing defense, hanging tough, kind of that bend don't break. Our defenders played really, really well today. They were definitely trying to push the ball on us. They definitely were trying to get a lot of shots. Those shots that went wide of the goal, those are because of the pressure that our defenders were putting on. So the boys played really, really well today. I cannot be more proud of the way that they played today, and they need to be proud of the way that they played. One thing we worked on in practice from this past week was throw-ins. Um, we kept the first 3 games or so, 4 games, we kept giving the ball away on throw-ins. We would throw it in and then immediately have to play defense. So we went over throw-ins and talked about, hey, we have to find our open person, our open teammate to try and control the ball. We'll continue to work on that. We did a lot better job today with our throw-ins and finding the open person, and people that were going toward the ball did a really, really good job today getting in front of their defender. And in some ways, taking the foul if their defender ran into the back of them or kicked them. We did a really, really good job today. We still will work on that. We do still need work on that. We need work on our um, defending free shots and also our set plays. We haven't really worked that much on set plays so far this season, and so that's what we're going to be doing over these last 3 games is to see what we can work on and the buttons that we can press here and there to give ourselves some opportunities. And the last thing that we're really going to work on, and I told the boys this in practice, it's not because you are in trouble. It's because we need to work on conditioning. We're running during practice, and we're really hitting that hard because after the game, I told them, eventually you get to the point if you keep playing soccer, eventually you get to the point where you are having to play possibly 95 minutes a game or 100 minutes a game if you get to a certain level because of the way that substitutions work within the sport. And so we're gonna continue to do that. We're gonna continue to get these boys ready so that if we run into a situation where we have to have all hands on deck and everybody's playing the whole match, or we have one or two substitutions like we had one time, we're able to do that, and people are able to stay in and feel comfortable within themselves and their ability to stay in and be able to work with their teammates. I think today was a great testament to the boys learning, a great testament to their heart in many ways today. Because of the players that we were facing, we were on the defensive a lot. But we held on. This is the second week in a row that we have held on, and we've held two teams that are used to scoring a lot. They are used to scoring many, many goals. And last week we held a team to 1 goal. This week we held them to 2 goals. That's really, really special. That is the right way to play defense, and not give up spacing, close spacing whenever you see it, and just get the ball out and live to play another throw in or even another corner kick if we have to. So I was really, really proud today. We have time for one question if anybody's got one. Yeah, in the back. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. The question was, what I tell the boys after the game. We did talk more after the game today than we usually do. I told them how proud I was that they played the way that they did, and that wouldn't have changed if we tied, if we had won, if we were down 2-1 at the last whistle. I just said, that other team, we knew what we were playing against. Um, some of the boys before the game had talked about seeing the other players and knowing how good the players were. And so I said, after the game, I don't care what would have happened if we would have played tomorrow or the next day or 50 other times. Today, when we played them, we showed them that we stood with them and we stayed with them the whole time. We did not let them get comfortable. Okay. I don't want it to be lost. I don't want to understate that those shots that a lot of those players were taking, those players are used to having taking those types of shots. The reason they were off today, the reason they were going wide of the goal or over the goal is because of the pressure that we were putting on as our defenders or with our defenders. Our defenders were constantly with them, constantly putting pressure on them. Very few times did anybody have a breakaway. A defender was always right on someone's hip. That's what we need. And we put the pressure on them and it caused those errant shots. That's what we really, really need to do. And I said, hey, I'm really, really happy with the outcome today. I'm really, really happy with the way that they played. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what we do next. So, seeing what we can do in practice Tuesday, getting that, more conditioning and working on a few things. And then we have 3 games left. Let's see how we can do these last 3 games and see what we can learn these last 3 weeks. So thanks a lot, everybody.